As many of you people already know, we've done a bunch of hockey stuff on this channel, and basically, in a way of speaking, we reach out to the hockey content people and the hockey creators and the content creators, and of course, of one of the greatest games ever. But now we realize that it is official. I did one of my spur moment videos, and sorry, I'm not a major YouTuber. I got over 500 views on it, and if it wasn't for you people continuing to keep this channel alive, because this is a big deal with the Arizona Coyotes, God rest their souls, moving to Utah. But there might be more, but there's obviously more to it, and we're going to get to it right now. Roll the intro. And as always, getting myself situated. If you always enjoy the content that we have created here, definitely throw a like and throw a comment in. Make sure you continue to subscribe. There's that subscribe button whenever you get an opportunity, get a chance to watch any of the content we've done on this channel, regardless if it is hockey or any of the other goofball stories that we have done. And always, we appreciate you. But this is going to be one of those videos where I don't want to make it. I always like to bark and complain. And the event planner never is on here, but the director knows. I don't want to make these too difficult. But how's Utah? How's Utah these days? I'm not sure what to say about Utah, because the funny thing is I haven't gone that far out west in my life. But I can say this: the area of Utah is going to be booming. It is going to be booming, and I'm kind of wondering why it didn't try to do this a decade ago. Because now Utah is going to get the Arizona Coyotes. They're probably going to get Major League Baseball in about 5 years, maybe a little bit more than that, and they're getting the Olympics in about a decade. Again, they're getting the Winter Olympics, so they're going to get a new arena it's going to be ready to go. And until then, they're going to play in the Delta Center where the Utah Jazz play until they build a new one. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the next 10 years. Utah is going to be booming. So at the end of the day, we have to accept the fact. Now, in case you guys are like a little bit behind on that, Arizona Coyotes CEO and chairman Alex Morello, he basically, after the whole transaction, is basically Ryan Miller, who is the owner of the Utah Jazz, has now full control of the ownership of the of the actual franchise that has now been moved. The roster has been moved to Utah. The actual branding, stats, name, plate, and everything belongs to Alex Morello, because he, in this plan, apparently is a plan for somebody that didn't know what the heck he wanted to do, is hoping they can buy land or find land again, get the land at Scottsdale Road, or try to renegotiate with Glendale at Desert Diamond Gila River Arena and bring the Arizona Coyotes back as expansion. I wish him the best of luck, because I don't even know if I even trust him having all that stuff. But the Coyotes may be back, but it's going to be a while. So with that in mind, I introduced you pretty much your brand spanking new Utah, whatever it's going to be. It's going, from what we are told now, after the NHL owners voted unanimously, Ryan Miller of Utah LLC now has full control. Has the roster, and pretty much from this point forward till maybe in the summertime, I don't know, the team will have an identity. Now, I've seen a couple of videos already about name things and everything like that. So I've jumped on Instagram, and I've seen a bunch of really talented like graphic design of making fantastic artwork of logos and everything like that. But then again, I have also been notified, and I watched post to post, and I saw Neil's take about what the names should be, and he did a little bit of a countdown. So I think it's probably my turn to do so, and I'm going to do that right now. I just don't have a second monitor. But I will read this out from Bleacher Report. As the NHL prepares for the Arizona Coyotes relocation to Utah for the 24-25 season, franchise is narrowing its option down for the new nickname, new brand. Per Ryan Miller of KSL.com, the UTYE LLC has filed trademark applications for 8 different names. And these names are actually not terrible, not bad. Some of them are actually pretty good, and a couple of them are actually fire. So I really don't have a like a 1 through 8. I'm just going to burn through them, because if you've seen a couple YouTube vids and Instagram photos of people throwing their names in, of saying this is what it should be and whatever, just don't bring the Utah Elks. That name is, and I'm sorry for whoever made that. I'm sure your design work is great, and it was. It's just dumb. Don't be the Edmonton Elk. Don't be the Milwaukee Bucks. That name doesn't. That has nothing to do with whatever. And I apologize ahead of time. But the 8 names went as follows. I mean, it was off of Ryan Miller, off his Twitter page. I don't use Twitter. I don't use Twitter X. So he has, the full list is now going, and I'll just read the names out. The Mammoth, Ice, Yetis, Venom, Fury, Blizzard, Outlaws, and for us NFL people, Utah Hockey Club. So those names aren't bad. I tell you what, they're not bad. I don't see them using Utah HC, although I think the Redskins should have just did Washington FC or something. But since Daniel Snyder was there, they just called it the Washington Football Team, which was the dumbest couple of years ever. It is what it is. But they would probably use that only if they did not come to a decision come this summer, or possibly just even right before training camp. Because they did say they weren't in a hurry to make a name change because they want it to be right. Understood, but I don't see Utah HC. It looks like it's probably going to be named Utah. I mean, I think Salt Lake City is a little long. There's just it's pretty long name. I don't think there's the only thing I've ever remembered was the Salt Lake City Buzz of minor league baseball, and Real Salt Lake is the MLS team, and the Utah Royals are the women's soccer team in the NWS. So I'll go backwards on this. The Outlaws is not bad. In fact, actually maybe the easiest name to go to. There's not a lot of Outlaws in all of North America. The last time I remember anything with the Outlaws was a USFL team called the Oklahoma Outlaws, the Arizona Outlaws, and I think Las Vegas in the first XFL era was the Outlaws. I think I have to double check and look, but that's not bad. It just depends on the colors you go by. But the other names aren't terrible either. The Blizzard, which would compete with the Colorado Avalanche. Fury's not bad, but Fury seems like a very like state-of-the-art name that you probably had done in the 90s or something, or the early 2000s, or maybe a brand new league and you just call somebody the Fury. It's not bad. Venom is not bad either. It would be original, kind of like what Seattle did with the Kraken, because there'd be another thing of having this. How are you going to incorporate another snake, or how are you going to use a V logo? Because the Vegas Golden Knights kind of use it in their main logo, but and the Ice is kind of a ring, but they would go back to the Indianapolis Ice from the IHL days. The 3 that get me is probably the Outlaws, and then there's one called the Utah Mammoth and the Yetis. Now the Utah Mammoth would not be bad. I think the people in Denver would have an issue with that. And the reason is, in case people don't know this, Denver has the name Mammoth. They have a team in the Major Lacrosse League called the Colorado Mammoth. They play in the same building, Ball Arena, where the Nuggets play, where the Avalanche play, and they get 14, 15,000 a game. So I doubt Mammoth is going to work, although it's pretty cool. But I have seen so many people jumping on the Yeti. Would you call it the Yetis? Would you call it Yetis with a Z? Or would you just call it Yeti? I don't know. But there's a lot of people that like that name. I don't know what your colors will be. So guys, the playing field is already set of what exactly Utah is going to be. They need to make a decision, but Ryan Miller also said, who's now officially the owner, he wants to get this right. And what I saw on, I believe it was either on the NBC channels or that, or on YouTube or wherever, and the players went into Delta Center and they saw about 10,000 people greeting them in Delta Center. They were excited, probably because they know they have an owner that's going to give a damn about them and have them a place to play. And Utah will be brand spanking new. The stats are going to start on day one. So unfortunately, Shane Doan, who was a legendary Arizona Coyote / Winnipeg Jet, unfortunately had to have his retirement banner given back to him, which is actually a fair deal. So it is a brand spanking new world in Utah. I don't know what the name will be. It may not even be any of those that was on Twitter and that has official trademarks to it. I think it's either going to be the Outlaws, the Yeti, or the Venom. I don't know. Blizzard doesn't sound too bad either. But whoever does the creative and whoever does it, if you are in Utah and you're doing this, make it work. Because whoever put those stuff together for Vegas and Seattle, they were acceptable, they were marketable, and that's what you want. And I get it. There's a boatload of graphic designers in the world that put together the coolest things. And if you ever watch Neil on Post to Post and he does Jersey Concept Fridays, he's got thousands and thousands of concepts that he goes through every Friday. And who knows, he'll probably make something happen. He actually did have something to do with Utah in a video of his, and I've never seen some of the coolest work I ever did, and some of them were by just younger teenagers. So real quick, I throw this at you. What do you think the Utah name is going to be? It's probably going to be one of those 8. Some of them are awful. Some of them are okay. But I'm going to let you guys throw your name in the hat. What do you think? Which one do you like better? And what do you think the colors would be? Because I'll tell you what, I don't know what it's going to be because we're in playoff mode right now. And I'll say this. I probably will buy a jersey. I'm not going to be buying it if it's going to be $250, $400 that Fanatics is putting together right now. But it's going to be interesting because now they'll have an actual semi-rivalry with Colorado, neighboring. The floor is yours. What do you think what do you think the team will be? I welcome the comments. I'm going to shut the bar down and I'll let you guys decide what it's going to be. As always, subscribe if you like the channel content. Definitely let me know what you think of everything, and I will see you Bloody Legends in the next one. And yeah, Utah, I'm going to tell you right now, is going to be very, very interesting, probably in the next 5 to 10 years. You want to start saving that money for a road trip? We'll see you real soon.